Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and happy Friday, of course. So, earlier in this week, we had a couple of cool decks. We were dealing with Into the Darkness Below. We were dealing with How to Play Summon Skull. Another deck that was pretty recently requested was for me to redo the Poker Knights in order to play out the Arkana Knight Joker. Now, before we get into this deck, a couple of things. Number one, this deck got just a tiny bit easier because of the newest ban list. The newest ban list actually moves reinforcement of the army from a single copy to dubs. And when you're playing two copies of it, it makes it much easier to run. Now, we are still going to use the Royal Flush skill card. Now, this is one of the ones that only flips over once you activate it, so this is okay. And once you do, once per turn, if you control a Queen's Knight, you may pay 1,000 life points to normal summon a King's Knight in addition to your normal summoner set. King's Knight and Jack's Knight you control cannot attack directly the turn that you use this skill. Now, this is fine. This is cool. This helps us get into a control form. And we could press this to a 22nd card deck instead of just playing a 21 card deck today. And we could add God card of your choice. Again, I think Obelisk and Slifer are the two standouts right now. Mostly because we don't have a Mystic Walk or Altar for Tribute in order to try to bounce back from the heavy hit point pay when playing the Winged Dragon of Ra. But also just because Slifer's second mouth really does control the field, and Obelisk cannot be targeted, which is just crazy. It's banana sandwich. So, moving into the monsters of this deck, you're going to run everybody in threes. You're going to play 3 Queen's Knight. It's just a 1,500 4-star warrior. You're going to play 3 copies of the King's Knight, 1,600 4-star warrior. This is the one with the effect, when normal summoned while you control Queen's Knight, you may special summon Jack from the deck. And again, if you were going to lower this and play a God card, what you could do is you could make it this a 2 Jack's Knight instead of a 3 Jack's Knight. What you'll do is you'll eliminate 1 Jack, because it is played from the deck, and then you will place 1 copy of your God card of choice here, and then the other one will be your 22nd card. And again, just real quick, because I got a pile of foily stuff here right next to me, let's just go ahead and show you guys, you could substitute this for Slifer here. And again, it feels better to run Slifer with Yugi. You don't have to, but again, he is the more control-oriented. And once you get all these summons out, it's probably one of the better ways to go about it. So 9 monsters, no matter how you slice this. Moving into the spells and the traps, we are going to run 2 copies Book of Moon. It's very simple. This is going to touch our 3-ups portion of the list. And again, it's really good at controlling things. And if your opponent does happen to have Slifer and you're getting ready to do a big thing, putting it face down in defense will make it to where the second mouth won't get you. So again, kind of cool. Our third of the 3-ofs will be a copy of Cosmic Cyclone, because again, back row can mess us up. Can mess us up big time, to the point we're also going to run 2 Night Beams. Again, good card, great card. All this means is whatever we target with it has to be a set card, and it can't flip up in response. Next, since we're already using some foils today, let's go ahead and just go full. And I realized I could have used my Book of Moon, my Cosmic Cyclone, and I don't know if I have a foil Night Beam or not. But 3 Polymerization. So first and foremost, again, this is going to feed back into the Arkana Knight Joker's effect. And we'll get to that when we get to the extra deck. But the extra polymerizations do not hinder us outside of our initial fusion. So don't even be stressing that. Next, 2 copies Reinforcement of the Army. This is going to be our 2-ofs. So we got our 3s, we got our 2s. I think the 1 is in the side deck. It is. It's good stuff. Again, this is just going to let you search out anybody but Jack's Knight. So again, if you've got Queen but you don't have King, boom, there's your search. If you've got King but you don't got Queen, boom. Maybe you don't have either one but you pulled both of these, boom, boom. Doesn't matter. You should be able to get off your combo pretty flawlessly. So it just means you got to get and draw one of the 3 copies of Polymerization. And then the last 2 that make this a 21 card deck, 2 copies of Lost Wind, because it's just really good. It will help us rob the effect at half the value of any effect monster that was special summoned, or any monster that was special summoned. And then again, we can set this from the discard pile back to the field if our opponent special summons out of the extra deck. Now, if you're trying to make this a 22 card deck because you want to play the gods in here, go ahead and drop your extra god card here, okay? But remember, the god cards are optional. So I will just put this guy sideways to kind of denote that. And again, if you're going to play that, then you just go ahead and swap out the third Jack's Knight. So just real quick, guys. This is the main deck, and I'm getting some heck of glare on here. But unfortunately, that is the light that we have here. Just go ahead, screen cap or pause and make some notes. And we'll be right back with the rest of this in just a moment. All right, now getting into the extra deck, we do have some generic guys that we're going to use. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to feel free to list those first. It is cut down to just Blue Eyes Ultimate as strongest, Dragoon for spot destruction, and TI's Restrict for his limitations. If you guys don't have one or multiples of these, and again, the ones that you might not have are going to be these guys because they were structure deck and booster pack. This could easily be Cyber Dragon. This could easily be Ojama King. It's literally play what you have. Again, I don't think the Knights were part of the Battle City sets, so this is a little exclusionary. A lot of it can be found common. A lot of it is very cheap to buy anymore. The last monster we're going to use in the extra deck, we are going to go with a full flight of 3 Arkana Knight Jokers. Again, maybe you don't have a full 3, but you got like 1 or 2. That's fine. Just play the 1 or 2 and then fill out the rest of your extra deck as needed. The way this works, you get to fuse one of each of the knights. A fusion summon of this monster can only be done with the above materials. Stop. So, what this means is when I play my Waking the Dragons in my side deck all the time, he's still an option for Waking the Dragon. He can be special summoned, but if you're going to fuse him, he has to be the correct cards. All right, let's keep going. Once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated that targets a face-up card on the field, as a quick effect, you may discard the same type of card, be it monster, spell, or trap, and negate the effect. So, remember like 2 seconds ago when I was talking about it didn't matter if we had 3 copies of Polymerization? So your opponent goes to Book of Moon, your Arkana Knight Joker. Feel free to discard Polymerization and negate that thing. Same thing goes with any targeting spell, any targeting trap, and of course any targeting monsters effect. You just discard the corresponding card, and well, that card just gets out of the way. Now, it is once per turn, and it's once per turn per copy of this. It's only a self-protection effect, so it's not something that you can just generically go off with. It is a cool card. It is a good card, great card. 3,800 points on its own puts it close to God card level. Doesn't quite pull up to Blue Eyes Ultimate or Master of Oz. Gets close. But it is a heck of a boss monster, and it only gets better with our side deck. So again, I mentioned that. First thing we're going to run, single copy Dahlgren, the Mad Flame. Again, 3k Kaiju. Doesn't matter. This guy's 38. He's going to punish him and put him straight to bed. Again, if you've got the Lost Wind, you can go ahead and drop our own monster down to 1,500 and still smash through it with just anybody in the deck. So again, good moves, great moves. We do have our one of. It's going to be Floodgate Trap Hole. And again, I wanted the extra deck to be more or less the traps. Because again, with Jinzo able to be played at 2 right now, I'm not sure that he's going to be mainstay in a lot of builds. But I'm not sure that he isn't. And again, this is another great reason for the Book of Moon. He's much easier to defeat in defense mode. But having the traps, when you're playing somebody who's very trap heavy, especially traps that target, it's going to be very good to go ahead and keep the Arkana Knight Joker moving. Next up, we are going to run 2 copies Mind Crush. Again, this is a good trap, great trap. And since we already have our 2 Lost Winds in the main, I didn't feel the need to add any to the side. Again, when your opponent's doing a lot of tutoring or the deck is very predictable, very meta, these traps come in very handy as you either already know the card or the prediction game is very strong. And then last but not least, we are going to run 2 copies Waking the Dragon. And again, this is real reason why I'm running the 3 Arcanas. Can I run them because I have the cards? Yes. Can I fuse 3 times? Technically. But is that reasonable? Is that feasible? Not always. However, if your opponent starts seeing you use crazy cool trap cards, or they're getting used to you using Book of Moon and Cosmic Cyclone from the back row, they might try to Night Beam you about it, at which point Waking the Dragon will get its effect, because it doesn't respond to the card. It just activates afterward. And so this will allow you to just generate straight into your boss monster or any of these technical monsters too. So good deck, great deck. I really want you guys, if you can't afford to pick up the additional cards, because again, Royal Flush is, I'm not too sure what the set was, SBLS. Just give it a quick Google. Maybe head over to tcgplayer.com. I used to get all my singles on there. Haven't been buying singles in a while. Haven't been needing to. So these were really cheap when I bought them. If the deck has gotten better or in demand, I'm not sure. I would love to see Konami slip these into maybe the next box concerning the original series as they progress towards the end of the Battle City tournament, since we do have the initial Battle City and the Streets of Battle City. This could be something that's in like the quarterfinals box or something. It'd be a great way to tie this back up and bring these cards into rotation for people who have just started this format. But it's a good deck. It is worth the investment. I do think that you guys will enjoy this. I hope that you have. If you did, consider supporting the channel. Easiest things to do. Like, comment, sub. Maybe even check out my other channel if you guys are into Dungeons and Dragons. It's literally the Casual DM. Link is somewhere. It's probably in my profile on the About portion of the channel. Or just look for me, and I think I pop up pretty easily. But yeah, guys, I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Let's have a great weekend. Let's get it started. It's Friday. So finish out the week strong, my friends. And I'll see you on Sunday for Speedle Spotlight. Later.